My name is Khadija Shaw, and I work as a crisis intervention specialist with emergency services.
My name's Nick Thomas. I'm a crisis intervention specialist with Fairfax Falls Church Community Services Board. The most meaningful part of the job, I think, would be, I would say, the opportunity and the privilege to, help people of all walks of life, of all ages, of all types of challenges they might be facing.
The most meaningful part of my job in crisis intervention is being able to respond to people in real time when they're feeling increasingly symptomatic.
The most challenging part would probably be the amount of juggling that we have to do with different responsibilities from day to day. Our bread and butter, job is to do risk assessments, like I said, and we're doing evaluations, and that's probably the best part. But we also have to do our share of, you could say, miscellaneous tasks, answering the phone. So you have to become kind of skilled, at doing one thing at a time and kind of blocking out the background noise sometimes. So we embrace it, you can learn from it, and you rely on your team to kind of get through it.
The best thing about this job is that we've developed a community amongst the clinicians and doctors. We celebrate each other's accomplishments. We often do so with food. It's just a pleasant environment to be in. On a daily basis, we respond to telephone calls from individuals in the community, seeking services, making requests for us to evaluate their loved one.
This is not a typical office type job or even a typical mental health job. I mean, you have to be interested in handling unexpected situations and thinking on your feet and making important decisions for people's lives. You have to be able to operate independently.
The attributes for someone looking to become a crisis intervention specialist: at a minimum, you need to be license eligible, but also you need to have experience working with seriously mentally ill people. Well, we are on the forefront of change in terms of implementing new programs and developing new services. And so the challenge is being able to adapt to those changes as they occur.
One of our units called Community Response Team, where a clinician like myself partners with a firefighter. Other days it's a peer recovery specialist, but typically it's a firefighter. And we are visiting a member of the community in their household or in their neighborhood, to basically break down the challenges that they're facing and offering whatever support or resources that they might need. And also, as a clinician, we're assessing for mental illness. So we are determining if there are signs that they have a mental illness and, referring them to the proper mental health services.
When I'm driving to see an individual, I'm thinking about how I'm going to approach the individual. I'm thinking about how I may convince them to accept resources that I have to offer. When I get to a person's house, I'll introduce myself, I'll explain the reason for the visit, and then we'll begin to talk about how I might be able to help them. What I find fulfilling when I do home visits is being able to offer resources so that a person is not suffering as much. At the conclusion of the visit, I summarize what strategies we've talked about, what plan or recommendations I've made. I make sure that the individual understands, and then we part ways. I hope you consider a position in crisis intervention.